Welcome to the Hockenheimring here in Hockenheim, Germany. Tonight's race in the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing Series, presented by Duncan Racing Designs and Gunfire Games. This is the penultimate race of the fall season here in this league. Looking forward to some exciting racing action as the championship contenders are out here tonight, as well as some returning names. And it has been a good season so far. And it is Clint Fletcher at the top of the standings coming into tonight. He is actually not going to be in this race. At least he's not on the track right now in the qualifying session, so that could shake things up towards the top of the points. Let's take a look at those in just a moment. But just a minute and a half or so yet to go in the qualifying session at this amazing facility, home to the German Formula One Grand Prix up until 2019, and so many other great racing series. My name is Adam Baker, and I'll be your commentator here this evening. Thank you for joining us on VSPEED. Hope you enjoy tonight's race. As we pull up the point standings, we'll see where your favorite drivers are coming into tonight's race. It is Clint Fletcher with 3 victories at the top of the standings and looking to be in pretty good shape to bring the championship home even without being in the event tonight. We'll have to see how the points shake out after the race is complete. I know that some drivers have been showing up pretty much every single week and getting a lot of points because of that. But he has a pretty good advantage over Brian Kennedy, who is also not in the race tonight. So it looks like the gap would only be closed maybe by Michael Pabolano, who's currently the fastest in qualifying. And he has a couple wins on the season as well. Matthew Gazenda is here tonight. Good to see a few of these guys coming back out. We see Perry Duncan on the track. I think that may be his first start of the season, or one of his first starts. Good to see him back out here. Some track information tonight at Hockenheim Ring. Opened May 29th, 1932 here in Hockenheim, Germany. 2.84 miles. Just about 4.5 kilometers there. Has 16 turns, a very difficult track, and again, home to the Formula One German Grand Prix up until 2019. So, definitely a storied racetrack with a lot of history going all the way back to the 1930s. Let's head trackside as qualifying has wrapped up. We'll see where your favorite drivers are starting here tonight. So, fastest in qualifying. Let's take a look at the qualifying times. It's going to be Michael Pabolano, the 111 with a 139.52. Fastest in qualifying. Scott Kim, second quickest here in just a 7-car field, but great qualifying time there from Scott. Let's see what he is able to do in this race. They're going to go to the back of the field due to the invert that affects all of the drivers in these short fields. Going off third fastest was Perry Duncan. Good to see him back. Dean Tulane, fourth quickest here tonight. The 84 machine 140s, pretty common here in this field. Matthew Gazenda going to be fifth fastest. Rex Jarawala, sixth quickest. And I believe we also had Darren Treacle join late. Doesn't look like he got a qualifying time. We'll have to see where he ends up as we get down into the race session. Like we have cars gridding up. So a little information about the way these races are formatted. We've got a dual 20-minute event, 2 20-minute races. The top 12 drivers get inverted from qualifying to the first heat, and then from the heat to the feature race. The top 15 drivers in each session earn points. That includes qualifying. We only have 7 drivers here tonight, so everybody is getting points and everybody is going to get inverted. So that is going to make things very interesting for the drivers who are the fastest, having to work their way from the back of the field. This is the second to last race of the season, so a lot on the line for drivers who are trying to make their way up into the top few positions in the championship. And I don't know that we'll see a points lead change going into the final race, but it will be a lot closer for drivers like Michael Pabolano and Dean Tulane as they try to climb up into the top 5 or further up the leaderboard. board there. If you're on your favorite driver, let us know you're out there and who you are rooting for in tonight's race. Look forward to another exciting one here as the GT3 machines start their pace lap. We'll have the track map up for you so you're able to see where your favorite drivers are running around the track as they work their way along the back stretch here. Mobile 1 turn number 11 coming up. That'll be a right-hand turn. Aaron Treacle isn't going to be taking the grid, so he's starting for pit lane. Interesting to see there, but he did not get a qualifying time, so that may be a penalty being served essentially to start from the pits, but also keeps him out of any potential mayhem that might happen down in the first couple of corners. They'll work their way turn 13 and 14. Then in a turn number 15 and 16, final corner of this track. We'll get things going here for race number 13 of the fall season. BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing Series. Field in the hands of Rex Jarawala and Matthew Gazenda. Green flag is out. We're off and away. Good start by these drivers. Really great start by Rex Jarawala as he is going to pull way out in front. And the lead already up to over 2 seconds. Battle is on, though, for second. How about Matthew Gazenda and Dean Tulane side by side into the hairpin? And Michael Pavlano also trying to make some moves, already up 3 spots. Aaron Treacle had to start from pit lane, and he was able to join right at the back of the field, so didn't really cost him all that much. Scott Kim, remember, he was second quickest in qualifying. Really good qualifying effort from him. He's already moved up 1 position as well, gotten around Harry Duncan, who's fallen down 1 spot in the running order. Gazenda has now been able to kind of clear this traffic, and he's got seconds and a chunk more on top of that to get up to Rex Jarawala. Battle kind of closest here between Dean Tulane and Michael Pavlano. 3rd and 4th Pavlano on the move. Was fastest in qualifying. Would expect him to try and make some attempts for a pass here on lap number 2, as it is Jarawala leads lap number 1. The lap time's going to be in the low 140s as this race goes on. We'll see some tire wear. Track conditions are pretty reasonable, but still a little bit hotter than what we've seen from some of the other races this season. Pavlano, your biggest mover. Everybody inside the top 4 has gained positions. 5th, 6th, and 7th have either stabilized or they've lost a spot. How about the descend there from Pavlano? Not quite able to get alongside. As he sees the top 2 starting to drive away, but still plenty of time in this race. Nobody's really fully escaped, and he's going to get put in the grass. Tulane pushed him wide. Let's take a look at what happened right there. Went to attempt a pass. This was Pavlano, really sends it in deep. The hole kind of closes there. He had to check up, gets into the grass. Car goes around, able to hang on to it. Going to cost him all of that track position and time. And he's going to really have to put down some amazing laps here to try and track down the rest of the field. He's almost 7 seconds behind your race leader. He is the fastest from qualifying. So could have a good shot at getting up there, but Jarawala looking pretty solid the first couple of laps. Gazenda starting to cut the deficit down, though. 140.99. He's the third fastest car on track. Jarwala with a 141.6. About 6 tenths of a second different on that lap. He would get there in about 2 laps. So far, pretty clean, besides the incident there with Pavolano. Really nose to tail, separated by less than 3 seconds, and Pavolano closing in now just about 6 seconds. On board here with Perry Duncan. He takes a look backwards. Scott Kim, really good run through the center of the corner. To try and get alongside, he's using every inch of racetrack. Going to have to cut it back onto the racing surface, though. There was a wall at the end of that straightaway. He'll tuck it back in line. Scott Kim, though, looking very competitive here tonight. Second fastest in qualifying. We'll see if he's able to keep that same kind of speed here in the race session. A little bit of dust being stirred up. That's one of the updates here lately in iRacing. Change some of the debris features where you'll see marbles and pebbles, grass getting spread onto the racetrack and getting pushed around by the cars. So very cool feature to add a little bit more realism to what is already probably the most realistic simulator in the world, and definitely a lot of fun. All of these drivers week in and week out. Many of these guys do run in the BMW Car Club of America amateur racing events, track days, autocross, things like that, and getting the real world experience to go along with the simulator. As we've got a battle now for second. Gazenda slipped up a little bit after the hairpin, maybe missed the shift in his Acura, and that's a car that we haven't seen many of or any of this season, and he's going to lose 2 spots in just as many corners, and he's continuing to lose ground. Maybe technical problems. He's going to fall all the way to 6th. Not sure what is going on, but he is well off the pace. Here comes Michael Pavolano starting to close in behind him, and looks like Gazenda struggling here with some issues. You can see the debris all underneath that car. He goes for a slide and back. Gazenda goes from second on this lap all the way to last. And that'll move Dean Tulin into the runner-up spot. Perry Duncan, now Scott Kim close in behind. Rex Jarwala, a little bit more breathing room. He is the second quickest car on track. Pavolano a little bit faster than that. Here goes Perry Duncan. Big look down to driver's right. Cut back to the left, not going to be in the preferred groove. He'll be right on the back bumper. Headed down into the hairpin. Turn number 6. Going to look to the driver's left now. It's a drag race to the end of the straightaway. Really easy to miss your braking zone on a corner like this. And they almost make some contact. It is going to be 3 wide, almost 4 wide. Scott Kim with a little bit of damage now as he gets into the 8 of Perry Duncan. And Darren Treacle goes all the way from 5th to 2nd in one corner. What a move there. Let's go take a look at that replay. We're going to go overhead on this one. Side by side, the battle for second. Perry Duncan went in there, almost made contact with Dean Tulin. Scott Kim tried to take advantage. He does gain a position, but Darren Treacle, perfect execution there, able to drive on around all of those cars as they were battling in front of him. They were all distracted with each other. Ultimately, he is going to climb the runner-up right now, but all of that costs all of these drivers another second or so, and Rex Jarwala continues to extend his lead. Barry Duncan battling with Scott Kim. This is going to be for fourth and fifth. Nearly a little bit of contact down into turn one. Barry Duncan backs off, and Scott Kim is going to take position. These two very competitive with each other, and pretty much nose to tail all race long, and that's not going to change. Here comes Barry Duncan, going to look back to the left side. And again, a drag race back down towards the hairpin, and we'll see how it goes this time. Barry Duncan in the same position, but he's got a little better drive down the straightaway, and he's going to miss the corner. Overshoots it. Scott Kim going to grab the position back, but he has damage on his Ferrari. It could be affecting how it's driving. Pretty exciting stuff, even with a very short field tonight. Seen that race in, race out, though. No matter how many cars are here, and drivers are here, you're going to see some exciting battles throughout each race. Barry Duncan going to do what he can to try and close back in. Look at all the gravel all over the racetrack. These tires are picking up as they run through that corner. Work their way turns 15 and 16 to complete lap number 6. Rex Jarwala already on the lap number 7. And already through turn 1 as the rest of this field well in the distance. Darren Treacle starting to close up. That time he was 7/10 faster. Find his rhythm, even though he didn't practice or qualify. Darren is a former champion and many-time winner in this league, so not a surprise. Through turn number 6, the hairpin gap continues to close now down to 2.7 seconds. And Scott Kim going really wide on the exit, using every bit of available real estate. He is still holding off Barry Duncan. It's close to battle on track, just under 1 second between these two. Scott trying to recover a little bit. He's got good pace. Hit his marks and see if he can get up there and finish on the podium here in the first heat race. Lead now down to 2.2 seconds. 15 and 16. Jarwala maybe being a little conservative, or did he use up a little bit too much tire in the first half of this race? We got 8 minutes remaining. Darren Treacle, second Mercedes, closing the gap. Might be able to get there just around the end of this one. We got about 5 laps to go, and that time by, he was 1.1 seconds faster. So actually, he'd be there in just a couple of laps. If he keeps up this kind of pace. That was his fastest lap of the race, fastest of anyone other than Michael Pavolano, who ran a 1:39.69 much earlier in the event. There are your top two. Well out in front of Dean Tulane, who's starting to fade a little bit here. Scott Kim was a 10th faster. Barry Duncan actually putting down a really nice lap as well. Could have a 3-way battle for the final step of the podium before it's all said and done. Dean just trying to hit his mark, smooth and consistent here, but he's starting to lose a little bit of pace as the run goes on. Pavolano did not expect things to go this way, but it should help him when you get the invert. He's likely going to finish 5th or 6th. Depending on how the battle cars in front of him goes. And Matthew Gazenda, who started strong. Started 3rd. He was up there running in 2nd. his Acura NSX Evo 22, and then he is really struggling with the handling on that car, though. Look at the big bobble down into the turn there. Yeah, I think it's a new car for him, so could just be having trouble getting the handle. Here is the battle for the lead. Under 6 minutes to go, and it is down to 0.6 of a second. Sharawala led every bit of this race. Going to overshoot the hairpin. That should open the door. Here comes Treacle. Trying to get there, not able to. Two Mercedes set to duel it out for the final handful of laps. Oh, big send down into that corner. Jarawala trying to find a little bit more pace. He sees that blue car closing in. Just one car length between them. 5 minutes to go. Can he hang on? Hold off the hard-charging Darren Treacle, who started from pit lane. Made an amazing pass. Basically a 4-for-1. Now, going to be 3 laps to go. Gap is just about 1 car length, and they are 5 seconds ahead of the next driver, Dean Tooley. Got a lot more pressure now at the back door. Here comes Scott Kim, just 1.5 car lengths behind. We're going to have a couple of great battles inside the top 5. Final couple of laps. Jarawala trying to hang on here. Treacle with the slipstream. Able to close it in now, just the car length. Even less than that as they send it down in the hairpin. He's going to really try and shoot the gap. Not able to put the power down entirely. Rex Jarawala able to hold him off one more time. Further back, Dean Tooley, same idea. And Scott Kim slips the rear tires. He gets back to the throttle, not able to make the move. Treacle losing a little bit of ground, but he makes it right back up. Jarawala went wide off the racetrack. It's bumper to bumper right now at the Hockenheimring. Really good stuff. Here we go, down to the inside, trying to use the inside lane. Not able to make it work. That was a close call, though. Nearly contact on turn entry. They'll have 2 more times around for Darren Treacle to try and complete the pass. Scott Kim goes around further back, though. He's going to lose all of that progress that he had made closing in on Dean Tooley. Let's take a look at what happened. Maybe some contact with Perry Duncan. Duncan shot it to the inside, and that's exactly what happened. Contact with the right rear of the 711 Ferrari. Scott Kim falls all the way back to 6th after he's run such a great race. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with the benefit of the invert in the feature event tonight. Could he get his first win this season? I don't know if Scott has actually ever won a race in this league, but he's had podium finishes. He's got the pace tonight to potentially do that. Very consistent. Battle still on for the race lead. They should be coming back to the white flag. And Darren Treacle going to try again. Goes to the outside lane. He lost a lot of ground in that attempt, though. Jarawala starting to see those rear tires give up. Sliding around a lot more than the 70. Two AMG Mercedes GT3s battling it out here, and Dean Tooley has made up ground as these two have gotten to battling. cut it down by another second, but it's going to be too little too late. Coming back to the white flag. Jarawala has led every moment of this race. Can he hold on for one more time around? Treacle closed it back in. Now 2 car lengths as they get through turn number 1. Still in that 3rd spot. Barry Duncan closing in behind him, just about a car length or 2. Keep an eye on that battle further back. Looks like Julian able to extend it actually after a bad sequence there for the number 8. Back towards the hairpin. Is Treacle close enough to make anything happen? Lead on the brakes there, gets right to the bumper. Gonna have to get back on the throttle early, not able to. It's still a car length and a half between the top 2 drivers. Jarawala so impressive in his defense of this lead. Treacle not done yet. Shoots into that corner really late on the brakes again. That's where he lost all that time. He's set up pretty well for a good few corners there. Closes it back in. Jarawala just has to hang on 3 more turns. All of that gravel still being kicked up late in the race. Through turns 13, 14, coming back to turn 15. And a little slip at the rear end for the 7 of Rex Jarawala. Coming to the checkered flag. It's 2 car lengths, and he's going to hang on to it. Take the victory in the heat race at the Hockenheimring. Darren Treacle right there in 2nd. What an impressive run him as well. How about Dean Tulane hanging on for 3rd as they all pile in past the start finish line. Perry Duncan 4th, Michael Pabolano 5th. Scott Kim looks like he should come home in the 6th spot in what was an otherwise really great race from him, and probably deserving of a podium finish. Matthew Casenda working his way out of the final corner, and he'll hope to have learned a bit, having some issues with the Acura here tonight, but we'll see what he's able to do, and we'll get the invert go to the front of the field in the feature race. And that is our halfway point in tonight's event. We're going to go quickly to a commercial break. We'll be right back. From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, Trading Paints, or via email. This season of the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League is brought to you by Gunfire Games, developers of the hit game Remnant 2, now available for PC, PS5, and Xbox. For more information on Remnant 2, visit www.remnantgame.com. back at the racetrack now, getting things going for our feature event. Here is your starting lineup. Matthew Gazenda rolling off from position number 1. Scott Kim going to be starting from the 2nd spot. Michael Pavolano rolling off from 3rd position here in this one. Excited to see what some of these guys are able to do. Harry Duncan going to start from 4th here tonight. Dean Tulane going to roll off from 5th. Darren Treacle, an impressive race from him, starting from pit lane in the previous race. Start from 6th here. And Rex Jarawala, who led flag to flag, starting here in the 7th spot. Let's see how things go with some different drivers at the front of the field. Sure to cheer on your favorite driver. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for. To win tonight's race. Could be a good one from the Hockenheimring. And if you are just joining us, thank you for tuning in here on VSPEED. My name is Adam Baker, and I'll be your commentator for the feature event. Race 13, the fall season, green flag. We're underway for the feature race. The Hockenheim Ring, and what a start for Matthew Gazenda, able to pull out in front. A few car lengths in the battle. To be on further in the pack, it's Dean Tulane, almost getting run over by Rex Jarawala. A little tap right there. And Tulane under fire from the 70 of Darren Treacle. We'll see how quick Darren can get up through. He had the pace to win the race, just couldn't quite complete the pass. Get to the lead. And she's going to take a look now. Drivers left, get a little contact though as Jarawala tries to split the middle. And that was not the cleanest move, as now out in front, Michael Pavolano able to pull in front of Matthew Gazenda. Did not last long. Let's take a look at the replay for the pass for the lead. 52 of Gazenda has been struggling with power, getting on the power in that Acura. Pavolano was able to drive right on by. Scott Kim also had a shot at it, but he backed off, and that actually cost him a position. Barry Duncan was able to get on by. Aaron Treacle up to 5th. Jarawala, Dean Tulane making up the rest of the field. As Pavolano is gone, he is 2 seconds up the road. Matthew Gazenda struggling like he was at the tail end, or actually really just about a few laps into the heat race. Having a hard time finding his footing in the Acura, as here comes Perry Duncan, going to swing from driver's left to driver's right down into turn 1. Door gets closed right in front of him though. Pavolano putting down an amazing first lap. He's a second or two faster than anybody in last race on lap number 1. As we have a huge hit for Rex Jarawala. And Dean Tulane had brought it down pit road as well. I'm not sure what happened right there, but what happened to Jarawala? Did he have a technical problem? Oh yeah, it just looks like either the throttle stuck, or not sure exactly what happened, but he sent it all the way into the wall in turn 1, and that's going to be the end of his night. That leaves us really 5 cars racing for this 3.7 seconds separating the top 5. And Team Tulane, who brought it down to the lane for a pit stop, just had some damage there after the contact with Jarawala. And Treacle, he is 25 seconds back. Shouldn't be a competitive for the win, but could maybe be in position to if things kind of go awry for some of these other drivers. And Matthew Gazenda has gone off the racetrack. That happened just in front of that kind of second pack of cars. Let's see what happened here in the Acura. He struggled here tonight. And, this time it looks like, oh, it was contact with Perry Duncan. Not really his fault. Oh, but big hit to the tire barrier. Not how he would have liked things to go there. I'm sure he wanted to improve a little bit in this, but actually just hits the wall as we come back to him. What happened there? Is that just lost the back end and then never able to get the handle on it, and that is going to be likely the end of his race as well. Perry Duncan's had problems. He's brought it down pit lane. Wow, all kinds of things happening here. Out in front, still Michael Pavolano. He is gone 4 seconds up the road. The battle's going to be on between Darren Treacle and Scott Kim, and this is going to be an interesting one to watch because Darren was the fastest car in the last race. Didn't quite get the win, though. And Scott Kim qualified second tonight. He's got very good pace. Interesting to see if Scott can keep up with Darren and maybe finish the runner-up spot. Pavolano still, not gone, unreachable. 4 seconds up the road. It's a long ways to go. He put down 139.9, which we haven't seen anyone else in the 139s other than Pavolano. There's a bit of gravel on the track there. You can see that's getting spread out now down the rest of that stretch. Very interesting to see this new update kind of coming into effect, and I think it's cost some drivers here tonight. I'm not sure if Matt Gazenda's had those problems. Perry Duncan possibly having issues with all the gravel. Jarawala back on the racetrack now. He's going to be a lap down along with Perry. And they're going to actually enter the racetrack just behind second and third, Darren Treacle and Scott Kim. That'll be a battle for position. They've exited pit lane at the same time, so. Let's keep our eye on this one, the 8 and the 7. Then the next closest battle is Scott Kim and Darren Treacle. But they're still separated by 10 car lengths. So this one might be a little bit more of a straightforward race now that things have gotten all mixed up and we've got the short field. So unfortunately, going to be as much opportunity for position battles. So make sure to check out the sponsors for this series down in the video description. Duncan Racing Designs, Gunfire Games. They've been presenting sponsors of this series for the last couple of seasons, and really great sponsors, great products. Perry Duncan does an amazing job with paint schemes. You can see the beautiful work he's done on the BMW M4 GT3 machine that he's in right now. Close view of that. Really nice textures. Pretty wild scheme overall, but definitely love the combination of black and red and white. The gold accents are really cool. Paint scheme very neat for one of these cars. Paints a lot of cars you see on the track in this series. So now, down in the video description, and then Gunfire Games. That's Matthew Gazenda. He's part of the team over there. Their very popular game, Remnant 2. Be sure to check that one out. Available on Steam and other platforms. And neither of those guys really having the race that they would like. Matthew Gazenda back to 5th. He's back on the racetrack after bringing it down to the lane. Perry Duncan is on the racetrack at 6th, 1 lap down. And right now, Michael Pavolano trying to cruise to what would be his 3rd win of the season. Bring those points back up for you here. It's Clint Fletcher at the top of the standings. And Brian Kennedy, who's not here, so neither of the top two are here. Michael Pavolano doing everything he can to close the gap. Might be able to overtake Brian before the end of the season. At least be within shouting distance if Clint Fletcher doesn't show up for the final race of the season. Matthew Gazenda, Colin Corton, and Julian Scott Kim, Darren Treacle, Bruce Wiley, and Shield. Just got a few other winners that are outside the top 10 in points and kind of showing up part-time. It has been a pretty competitive season. The most competitive we've seen in the GT3s with all the different winners. We've had 7 different winners in the first 12 weeks, so that's probably a record since we've been broadcasting these guys here on VSPEED. I think the most we've really ever seen before is maybe 4 or 5. Definitely a lot of parity. Even though we have multiple drivers with multiple wins, still 7 different winners in 12 races. Albolano would be another multi-time winner. See who has not won in here. So Scott Kim has not won a race this season. Team Tulane, I believe, is not either. Has not. Matthew Zenda not this season. He did win a couple races last season. Duncan making his first start tonight. So yeah, he's not on the victory lane yet. Jarawala, we only have 1 or 2 other starts, but has not won the race yet. Not looking like either of those guys will take it to victory lane tonight. They still have 1 more week to try and get a victory. Albolano was very strong. He was fastest in qualifying. Did not have a heat race that he would have liked. And was led every bit of this one. Getting around Matthew Gazenda in the early going. Treacle 6th to 2nd. Scott Kim hanging in the podium here, 2nd to 3rd. He's got a huge gap back to Dean Tulane. Assuming no major mistakes, any of the top 3, probably where we're going to see them all finish. And, Barry Duncan, who was running with Scott Kim earlier in this race, is back to battling with him, but a lap behind. I think we still have a little bit of fun on the track. It's been a pleasure to bring you the action this season with these guys. We've had a few off weeks here with kind of lower participation, but when I've been able to bring you the shows, it's been a lot of fun. The heat race tonight was a very exciting one. With 7 cars, right? You always have some kind of activity on the racetrack. This one, we had the action in the first half of the race. We're not going to have too much here in the second half, assuming, again, no major mistakes from the top 3. Jarawala not really putting the pressure on Perry Duncan in the battle for 6th and 7th. It's about 2 seconds between them. About the same distance as Scott Kim rides Darren Treacle. And the top 2 running almost the exact same lap times. So it's going to be unlikely Darren to get up there. We'll have to find about a second a lap pace faster than Albolano, or the 111 is going to have to make a major mistake, slip off the racetrack. Just don't see that happening. Albolano be aggressive at times and cost himself good finishes. Pretty comfortable margin. That's not really what we've seen from him. It's often when under pressure or trying to make a pass. Sometimes goes a little bit too far. Right, slick. Very good. A little smoke from the brakes there into the debris. You can see that it has affected these cars as they creep through that section of the track. And then you'll even see the handling a little bit upset as they make it into the next portion of the track. And Tulane, quiet race, gets the damage repaired. Looks like they'll have a comfortable 4th place finish. Go on board here to see here Hear a little bit of gravel here and there, still in underneath the car in a couple corners after he's driven through it. So that's really neat and adds to that immersion. And we've got a battle brewing here for second. Mistake by Darren Treacle. Gap down to 2 car lengths for the runner-up spot. Scott right there on the back bumper. What is he going to do to try and get that position? One of the most competitive nights I think I've seen from Scott. He's run in the podium positions in other races. There's been other ones where he's run in the top 3 basically the entire race. Tonight he's had top 3 speed. He might have even had top 2 speed points in both of these races. So that is just really cool to see. I know Scott's been able to participate in every single race this season. I would say it's been a very successful one. A lot of performance in the 7-Eleven. Seen him posting in the Discord before the races, also trying to do beers and drinks each and every week. So maybe he's found a good one here that gives him a little extra time on the racetrack somehow. Treacle able to extend that margin out by a little bit, but it's still just about 4 car lengths. Coming back to 2 laps to go the next time around. Scott's just got to find a little bit, put that pressure on, maybe make an aggressive attempt at a pass. Afford to even make a mistake and go off track. So far ahead at 4th place, so could really try to lay it on the line here. Into the hairpin turn 6 and out. Yeah, remains about the same. Babalano, though, he is put on a master class in this one. Led all 9 laps. Working lap number 10 right now. Looks very likely that he's going to get back to the stripe here first, and then we'll have 2 laps to go after that. Come to expect that from the 111. Like Babalano, he's won a race about 4 or 5 seasons that we broadcast this speed. Darren Treacle, same kind of situation. He's won all different cars, all different tracks. Very competitive, and he's one of those that has that real world experience. Both of these top 2. Scott has quite a bit of track day experience. That he's run any amateur or professional racing events. Hey, seems to be paying off for him. He has improved significantly this season. Maybe just more comfortable in the GT3 machine. Truly in here in that 4th spot. Matthew Zenda in 5th. Barry Duncan and Rex Jarawala rounding out the field. Go as well. Babalano still maintaining that lead. Darren Treacle hanging on 2nd. On board here with Scott Kim as he tries to make some inroads. Very smooth in these races tonight. I know he didn't have the finish he'd want in the heat race, but got to be proud of the effort here tonight. Especially in this feature, he's won a clean race. He's up here contending with Darren Treacle. One of the best this league has seen. Very, very strong night. White flag is going to be shown to Michael Babalano. Impressive race from him to capture the lead away from Matthew Zenda. Never look back. gray Remnant 2 Ferrari. Bring it home here tonight at the Hockenheimring. While the German Mercedes behind. Darren Treacle not going to be able to grab in his home country, but Rex Jarwala did grab the victory in the race. So a little bit of victory there for the German Marine. Highest running BMW, that is going to be Dean Tulien in fourth. The Acura NSX of Matthew Zenda currently in that fifth spot. We're working into the final few corners. Michael Pavolano still out in front by 5.5 seconds. Nobody around him. He will be bringing it home here from the Hockenheimring, race 13 out of 14 in this fall season. Only one more to go. See if he can get it done next week as well. Checker flag is out. It is going to be Michael Pavolano getting the victory. Great job from him. Darren Treacle in that second spot. Fantastic race on his part as well. Got him, finishes in that third spot and piles in to the awaiting Michael Pavolano. There's Dean Tulien. He'll work around to come home in the fourth spot. Matthew Gazenda in that fifth position. Perry Duncan in sixth. Looks like he is going to come home there. And Rex Jarwala finishes tonight's race in the seventh spot. Those are your top 7 finishers. Tonight's winner, though, is going to be Michael Pavolano. What a fantastic race from him. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, Trading Paints, or via email. This season of the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League is brought to you by Gunfire Games, developers of the hit game Remnant 2, now available for PC, PS5, and Xbox. For more information on Remnant 2, visit www.remnantgame.com.
We're back at the racetrack here, the Hockenheimring, for race number 13, the fall season of the the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. We'll go to our third place finisher here tonight. Their very strong performance. That's going to be Scott Kim. Hey Scott, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Copy. Hey Adam.
Well, Scott, very impressive performance for you here tonight. You had amazing pace. Were able to stay up here in the podium for all of this second race, and you had a good run going in race number 1. Qualified well as well, so just really great night all around for you here. Just describe everything from your perspective here tonight at the Hockenheimring.
Yeah, and Mike Pavolato hooked me up with the really nice setup, and we both had a really good pace. And yeah, I just felt a lot better and comfortable, as the day went on. And yeah, I unfortunately had a little bit of a contact from Perry, but yeah, I thought I was keeping up with a lot of people there, and yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, we
felt
saw.
I felt like I was qualifying the entire time, just the amount of concentration I had to do.
Yeah, I mean, it really showed here tonight.
Yeah.
You've had some great performances all season long. In the point standings, right? Probably the highest you've been in any of these last few seasons. But
Yeah, you're correct.
definitely a real big uptick in performance, I would say, this season for you. Is that due
I think
to
so.
trying all those different beers week after week?
Different beers, different setups. Yep, there you go. Yep.
If we go to Navarra next week, how do you feel about going out there for the season finale?
Brand new track for me. I think I just got it, so we'll have to do some practice. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The layout looks really challenging and it looks a lot fun. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, definitely looking forward to see if you can back up with another podium
Top
performance.
3. Yeah, I hope
Yeah.
so too.
Yeah, great qualifying speed, great pace in race number 1, and also a great finish here to close things out tonight at the Hockenheimring. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Now, shout out to all the sponsors at VSPEED, you and all the drivers out there supporting us over almost 4-5 years now, and hopefully we'll get some new drivers next year, and we'll go hopefully we can continue to grow. So yeah, thanks to you.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, definitely a lot of fun watching you guys each and every week, and even with with the small field, sometimes we still get amazing battles, and you put on a great show
Yes.
for us out here tonight. So
I
go
agree.
celebrate with the rest of the guys, and we'll catch you next week in the season finale.
All right, sounds good. Yep, thanks Adam.
Thank you. We're gonna go to second place finisher now. That is gonna be Darren Treacle. Is he here? Hey Darren, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
I do, Adam. How you doing?
Pretty good, man, and great to see you back out here and really competitive here tonight. You start from the pit lane in the first race, and you're able to charge up there, battle for the win, come home just a car length or 2 short, and ultimately second place in both races tonight. But just describe, everything from your perspective without any practice or qualifying, and getting out here and challenging these guys tonight.
Yeah, it was fun. I think I got like a half a lap in qualifying, not even a full lap. I was doing, they had the updates, and it was like very last minute for the updates for me. But where they put you in the pit lane, I was like right at the exit, so I knew I'd pop right out behind them on the start. So that was good. And then it was just kind of hang in there and wait for a good opportunity to get by some of the guys. I think I passed like 3 guys in one turn.
In the hairpin there, yeah, 3 passes.
Yeah, got pretty lucky there, and then set off after Rex. And Rex was driving good. I just didn't capitalize when he made a couple of mistakes, and then I made a couple of mistakes, and I wasn't trying to just jam it in there. I wanted to wait for a good opportunity, and nothing really good came up, so I finished second. And then second race was good. I made a couple of good passes and got through, and then me and Mike were running very similar lap times, so I wasn't going to close the gap unless he made a mistake. And then unfortunately I got a slowdown in turn 1, I believe, and I was like, well, let's see how far it's going to let me go out here. And I found out, and it gave me a slowdown. And but still fun. It was good. I'm glad it was a track that I knew, so that helped. And then following them for a couple of laps in the first race helps as well.
yeah, you kind of find your footing and then pick it up
Yeah.
from there, find the limit a little bit more. But yeah, impressive to watch you go from no qualifying to running up there battling for the win. That was a lot of fun to watch, and the 3 wide pass was very very nerve wracking. But you made a very clean and cool move there, and able to get up through the field. And we go to Navarra next week. How familiar are you with that track, and are you going to be able to make it to the season finale there?
I'm gonna try to make it. I don't even know
I think it
if
might be a
is that
new.
Circuit Day Navarra?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, it must be a free track because I don't remember buying it.
It's not one
Um,
that I can like think about offhand. It's there's so
yeah.
many of these, but
I'm looking now because the new M2, that new M2 CS BMW they have is there, and I can get in. So I think it might be. I'm gonna run it and see what it's like, and
yeah,
then so I can show up next week and have a little fun.
yeah, we'll see if you can get to victory lane in that one. But second place in both of the races here tonight. Very impressive driving from you, as always, Darren.
Thank you.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to for tonight's race?
Yeah, I'm a little out of practice, man. I haven't done this in a while. Obviously, I'll give a shout out to myself, Treacle Insurance Agency, and honestly, I'm not sure who's sponsoring the league or if anyone is, but always like to give a shout out to Scott for setting all of this up and just the guys. It's been a little low in the numbers, but hopefully things will pick up soon. And thanks for you doing the broadcast as usual and doing such a good job. So.
Appreciate that, and yeah, hoping to see a little uptick maybe in the new year with the new season. I know it's been a kind of tight holiday season, so probably that plus the real world racing season going pretty long for a lot of these guys. So hoping we see some of the familiar names back. But great to see you as always, Darren, and congrats on a great race tonight. And we'll see
Thank
you
you.
hopefully at Navarra next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you. That is Darren Treacle. Pleasure to talk to you as always. We're going to pull in Michael Pavolano, your race winner here tonight from Hockenheimring. Hey, Mike, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Adam, got you.
Well, what a great final race from you here, and you had amazing pace all night long. You were charging through the field in the first one, got a little contact there, and ultimately not the finish you'd like, but you're able to get a good starting spot and take control of the second one.
Yeah, first heat, I was just, doing some late braking, unfortunately, try to avoid a car and then spun off. And then, there's the second spin just really took me out of the race. And yeah, the pace really helped me on the second heat. And, once I got clear air, it's just, just try not to make a mistake and just put in some lap times. So that worked out.
Yeah, definitely a very impressive race. And, you had some hard chargers coming in behind you there. Darren Treacle got to second. Scott Kim back there in third had great pace tonight as well. Tough place to make some passes. Pretty tight track, but definitely a lot of fun watching you guys battle it out here tonight. We do go to Navarra for the season finale, and I think you've closed in now maybe to second in the standings and might even have a shot at the championship. How do you feel about going out there to close out the season?
I think I'll have to practice because I've never done that track, so so I'll probably need to put in some time and just try it out. But yeah, I'll give it a shot next week and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see if you can close it out on a couple of wins in a row. That would be very impressive, and I think you're now tied for the most wins this season with Clint Fletcher. And I'm looking at the points. You do jump to second in the standings. A bit of a gap up to him, so it might be tough to close that. But either way, fantastic season so far from you, Michael, and you can try and get the most wins this season, maybe with a victory next week. So that would be pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
But great driving here tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, thanks to the gang for coming out week in and week out. Thanks to Scott and the admins for setting it up, and thanks to you for a great broadcast. So appreciate it.
Awesome, Mike. Well, thanks for taking some time here and go celebrate. And we'll see you in the season finale next week.
Thanks, Adam. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
That is Mike Pavolano, your winner here tonight, Hockenheimring. After putting on a great show, taking control of this final race. Take a look at the rest of the results as we head on out for the evening. No cautions in this series as usual. We did have 2 lead changes. Not sure when Darren Treacle took the lead in this one, but got a lap led. He scored with a lap led. And he had a great night all around. But Michael Pavolano, a little bit better here in the feature race. Started third, takes the victory after leading every lap. Took the lead away from Matthew Gazenda on lap 1 and never looked back. Darren Treacle, second place, able to hold off a hard-charging Scott Kim, who had a fantastic night in the 7-Eleven machine. Dean Tooling going to come home in the 4th spot. Matthew Gazenda, after starting on the pole, comes home in the 5th spot. 6th place was Perry Duncan, and Rex Jarwala, your heat race winner, comes home in the 7th spot. So great race in the first one for him. Some issues early on in this one kind of set him off track, and ultimately comes home just behind Perry Duncan there. So definitely a lot of fun here tonight from the Hockenheimring. We do want to thank you so much for tuning in once again. We got broadcasts all week long, so make sure to tune on in, like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed tonight's race. Check out the race sponsors, Duncan Racing Designs and Gunfire Games, in the video description, as well as other great channel sponsors, Keo and Butt Kicker, and so many more. Check those all out down there. We do appreciate you tuning in, and have a great night.